What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode, another episode of the Road to Glory. You can see the team on the screen right now. We bought Martial a couple episodes ago. I was trying some new teams out for this weekend league and I've done alright up till now. I think I'm at like 20 wins and 5 losses up till this point, and it's a long episode today, 30 minutes, and that is because we do have 15 games. And it is strictly gameplay today. As you would know by the title, spoiler alerts for the actual gameplay going forwards. I don't know, do you guys prefer to not know what I've done and to watch every result as it goes? Or do you prefer to know where I'm at and then watch the gameplay and discuss the gameplay with me? It's an interesting concept, isn't it? So let me know how you feel about that down below, guys. But I finished in Elite 3 again. Elite 3 seems to be our kind of generic base point. I think there were a few occasions in the first month of FUT CHAMPS. We finished gold 2 in the first week, gold 1, gold 1, gold 1. In the second month, I believe I finished Elite 3, gold 1, Elite 3, Elite 3. In the third month, I got Elite 1 and Elite 2s started coming in, and now this month again, Elite 2s and Elite 3s are also coming in. So it does seem to be that for me, Elite 3, or basically like 30 to 32 wins is my threshold. We tried this weekend league to use 2 teams instead of 1 team, or the bulk of 2 different teams and a couple of the same players. And I've got to be honest, it didn't really work out for me. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't enjoy having to switch up the teams. I didn't enjoy the difference in play style. I said to you guys that this would be a test for us. I've been an advocate of the fact that 1 team is more beneficial than 2 teams. And even though in this weekend league we still got to 29 wins and we still got to Elite, I'm absolutely confident that if I only used my 1 main team, we would have definitely got to Elite 2, potentially even Elite 1. The team really hindered me at times, having to keep switching up and not knowing which team I was using. The effectiveness of players was relevant and then irrelevant. I don't recommend 2 teams to people unless you are absolutely comfortable with each team that you have. And we'll talk about that going forwards. I streamed yesterday some Road to Glory where we got into a couple of the team issues I'm having. But I let myself down again this weekend league. I let my emotions get the better of me in FIFA again. I was 20-5 going into the final 15 games. I won 9 of those final 15 games, which isn't that great. From 20-5, on that same 4-1 win-loss ratio, I should theoretically have finished around 32 to 33 wins, maybe even 34 wins at a push. Like losing 1 game in the last 15 would have been tough, but let's say I lost 3 games in the last 15 or 4 games in the last 15, that would have got me to 31 or 32 wins. And I lost 6 games. And I lost them in batches again. I lost 2 in a row that you're seeing here. Some of the games that I lost, I deserve to lose. This weekend league, I played more top 100/Gfinity/pro players than any weekend league before. I ended up coming up against 6 top 100 players. Some of them that are currently in the top 100 right now, and some of them that have previously been in the top 100 that weren't in the top 100 at this specific time in this weekend. Of those 6 top 100 players that I played, I beat 5 of them. So I lost 11 games this weekend league, and 1 of them came to a top 100 player. 5 of my 29 wins came against top 100 players, and 10 of my 11 losses, some of them were to decent players. Some of them to players that were very good. Again, a lot of FUT CHAMPS comes down to game-to-game scenarios. There were some games that were just super tight, really close between me and my opponent, and my opponent made better of his chances, or I made more mistakes than my opponent, and he ended up getting a win. I don't mind losing those ones. I don't get frustrated at those games. I get frustrated at the games where I play good FIFA and I create good chances and I end up losing the game. And case in point was the stream yesterday. If you want to watch the stream, go twitch.tv/NepentheZ. There's a little tab at the top that says videos. Click on it and watch the stream. And watch the final of the first tournament. The reason why I'm suggesting for you guys to go and watch this is because I'm testing stuff out on OBS so that I can stream live and create it to videos. And there's basically 2 buttons on OBS, one that says start recording and one that says start streaming. And I just completely forgot to press the start recording button through the stream. So everything that I was set up to do to be able to make it into a video had gone. So I can't make it into a video, which we'll discuss again in a second. But in the final of this game, I lost it, I think, 4-3 or 3-2, something like that. I lost it by 1 goal, but I created 3, maybe 4, that comes to mind 3 opportunities that I just don't miss. Clean through on goal, perfect shooting angle, perfect power that I always put on with the same players, and on all 3 occasions the ball went wide of the post. There was also one instance where I got down into the byline, cut it back for Ibrahimovic. He's literally on the penalty spot and he blasted it so far over the bar after I tapped a little bit of power that I could not believe he missed it. And I created plenty of opportunities. I outplayed my opponent. I got more shots, more goals. Sorry, more shots on target, more possession, better pass accuracy. And I asked the chat afterwards, how do you feel about that game? Like, because for me, I felt like I was just super unlucky. But I asked the chat, what could I have done to improve? And the chat genuinely were under the same guise as me, which is strange for Twitch, that I was just unlucky in that game. And those are the ones that are frustrating, not just for me, but for you guys as well. Because there are games where you do something and it works, and then it doesn't work like intermittently. Like, you know, you'll take that same shot 10 times and 1 or 2 times it won't go in, but most of the time it will. And then you'll have a game where you take that shot 4 or 5 times and none of the times it goes in. And you're just like, wait, what? How does that happen? So I was trying to theorize as to why the difference. And one of the big things that came up in the chat, in the Twitch chat, was camera angle and stadium angles compared to the way that you angle the thumbstick when you shoot. And I'd never considered this before. But you can see here, the camera angle that I play, it's super, super high, right? I play in the King Abdullah Stadium. I also believe the Whitecap Stadium has a really high angle as well. I play in the King Abdullah Stadium. I have my custom camera settings set to telebroadcast. I have the zoom set to 0 and the height set to 20. The reason why I have this is because I want to be able to see as much of the field as possible. And typically, when I have games away from home and I play in somebody else's stadium, typically speaking, because my default camera settings are, my custom camera settings are set to, really high, really zoomed out and telebroadcast, that even if somebody has an unfamiliar stadium, the camera is still far enough away for me that it makes sense. In this instance of this game where I missed like a lot of opportunities, a lot of really, really easy opportunities, it was a stadium that I could never recall playing in, and the camera angle was sat so low. Like, I felt like my head was in my shell like a turtle. I felt like I was leaning into the TV. And the chat kind of theorized that they wonder if the specific angle, like you can see this angle compared to the angle of the last the last game, this one is like far lower, right? Mine was super high, super zoomed out because of the way the stadium is. I don't know why the stadium makes an effect on the camera angle, but it does. This one's a little bit deeper, a little bit more zoomed in. And there's other stadiums in the same instance, like this is a typical stadium. In the same instance that there is the King Abdullah and the Whitecap Stadium where it's super zoomed out and super high, there are instances where there are stadiums where it's super zoomed in and super low, even if you have custom camera angle. So it could genuinely be an issue that on that camera angle, the way my players are positioned compared to the way my thumb is, because a lot of FIFA is muscle memory, right? You get into that angle, you pop your thumb up to the position you always pop it up, you press the power button on shoot for the same amount you normally do, and it either goes in, goes narrowly wide, or the keeper will make a miraculous save and you'll be like, what the hell? On this occasion though, in this one stadium, it was a situation where I was just missing by miles the easiest shots. So could that be another thing? Could it be another thing that reads like that in certain games the margin of error could genuinely be the few extra degrees on your thumbstick that are required when sat at a different camera angle in a different stadium? I know it sounds crazy, and I know what people are thinking. My God, is there no excuse this man can't think of? I know that's how it comes across, but I want to get better at the game. I want to understand and like learn every aspect of the game so that I always have the advantage, so that I always give myself the best advantage. And if never playing away simply because of the stadium gives me an advantage, I will take it. I will start playing at home, like literally only at home, or not even just playing at home. When you go into the second screen, you know, the first screen you come up, you see the FUT Champions badge and it says FUT Champions. You go into the second screen where you see the kits. I believe in that screen, it also tells you the stadium up the top. So instead of me just only playing home games, I can literally only play games in stadiums that I am comfortable playing in. And again, I know a lot of people will just be sitting there being like, man, take a loss. And I agree. I try to take my losses. I try to learn from my losses. But in my opinion, this is me trying to learn from my mistakes, learn from my losses. Is it the way, you know, because you have got to think, if you're set at a certain angle, like in real life, in geometry, right? Or is it geometry? Is it geometry? I believe it's geometry. Or physics, geometry, etc. If you're set at a certain height and a certain distance away, and you create an action, it will have one result. If you then change that height and that zoom and create that same action, it will have a different result. So I wonder if that is the same in FIFA. Maybe that's too much. Maybe that's too in detail. Maybe that's me, again, maybe that is just me looking for an excuse for having poor finishing, not being composed, and rushing my chances. But it's definitely something to think about and something to talk about and something to consider in future games if I get into a position where I'm at a low angle camera about how the shots work. That being said, I noticed two huge flaws in my gameplay through editing this and through playing on stream yesterday. What I was doing on stream was really over-analysing my gameplay on purpose as well, because I wanted to look at every single singularity that would help make me a better player. And the two biggest things that I have as errors in my games right now is, number one, I do not cut the ball back enough. I take the low-driven angled shot far too much. More often than not, it goes in. But there are so many instances where it goes in and where it doesn't, where I've got a player just stood there at the other side of the goal waiting for a tap in, and I don't see the pass quick enough. So I really need to incorporate that into my game. I really need to force myself to start cutting the ball across the face of goal more. Secondly, I really need to stop dragging my defenders out of position. The amount of times I manually select my defender to then run 10 or 15 yards up to try and attack the ball carrier is horrendous. It leaves so many gaps in my play, and it allows any decent opponent, not even a great opponent, just a decent opponent, to carve me open defensively. And that is, again, another one of those reasons why I lose games that I could win. I'm not saying I should win them. I don't have a divine right to win every game. But there are so many games that are close-fought games that my erratic defending and bad decision making in offense are costing me wins. And it's really frustrating to notice your mistakes. And this is week 13 or week 14 in FUT Champs, maybe week 15 in FUT Champs, and since about week 5 or 6 I've noticed these mistakes and I still haven't fixed them. How crazy is that? Every week we talk about this. Every week I come to you guys and say, hey, I make this mistake and I make this mistake, and then the next week I'm like, hey guys, I made this mistake and I made this mistake, and it's the same two mistakes. And the problem is, what happens is I'll get into a good rhythm in FUT Champs and I'll start winning games like we was this weekend league. You know, we went to 20 wins, 5 losses. I was comfortable. I got overconfident. I just started believing in myself too much. I lost the fundamentals of what got me to 20 wins and 5 losses in the first place. And on those occasions where I got to 30 wins and 3 losses, which happened twice, on that occasion where I got to 19 wins and 1 loss, imagine that, 19 wins and 1 loss in my first 20 games, and I only finished on 30 wins. I went 11 wins and 9 losses in my second 20 games on that occasion. So imagine that I'm playing good FIFA after analysing my gameplay like now, and then spending the week in divisions and daily knockouts kind of fine-tuning the problems. I then go into the weekend league with a really solid mindset of this is how we're going to play this weekend. We're not going to let the game get the better of us. We're going to atone our errors of last weekend league, and we're going to play good FIFA. And boom, what do you know? First 20 games, I'll go 16-4. First 30 games, I'll get to a point where I've got a really good record and I'm on course for Elite 1. And then there'll be that one game where I get frustrated and everything goes out the window. And it's so disappointing to know that it is my mentality of going into game after game that costs me these results. You see the results up till now, guys. I lost 2 in a row, I won 2 in a row, and then I think I lost 3 in a row. So out of a 7-game batch, I lost 5 of the games. That's not good enough. I don't even care if I come up against good opponents or not. I'm a decent enough FIFA player. I've played against some of the best players in the world, and I've held my own against them. Okay, I've lost to them several times, but, you know, I've played against Bruce Granick and I've won. I've played against Gorilla, and a couple of games I've run him close. I usually get smashed, but I've run him close. I played against hashtag TAS, and although I lost it in the second half, I gave him a tough game. I played against Phil SKS, who finished top 100 month 1, and I managed to beat him. I played against the German #1 a couple of weekends ago, and I beat him. Like, I'm able to compete with these players when my mind is right, but when my mind is wrong, and you come up against a top 100 player, which is this guy right here, this is what happens. I get absolutely destroyed. And it's problematic because it also then leads into me coming up against good players, not great players, and I allow them to beat me just through my own stupidity again. And it's so disappointing. But anyway, that being said, we were looking at teams on stream because I want to look for one team. And do you know what, actually, I'll make this into another video. As I said, I was going to use that as a video for tomorrow, but because I forgot to record it, what I'll do tomorrow instead is I'll do a club tour, look at all the stats of the players, you know, and look at and talk about the team that I've got available and what we could do going forwards. I think that'd be far more interesting for you guys. It's about time we did a live recording. I've done so many post-coms recently that a live recording would be healthy for the series, I think. Hafida Production says, "Hey Net, big fan here. Wouldn't it be cool if EA gave us a pack every month? You have to play at least 50 matches that month that consists as 186 to 95 plus rated untradeable. What would be a downside? Not as many packs open because we already have top players. You could get Busquets or you could get Ronaldo. What do you think?" I think you're on the right track, dude. I think this had a lot of thumbs up as well. I think EA are on the right track though as well. I think EA have shown by the Luna stuff and by some SBCs that they're getting to the point where they're pretty much giving away packs. Marquee matchups when it started was a farce. Like one of the earlier marquee matchups required you to spend like 40k on a team to get a 15k draft token, and it was a farce. They refined the specifications of marquee matchups, and they are all but free packs at this stage. Especially if you're sensible with the way you keep players in your club and you know, use bronze pack method and such, you can quite easily complete marquee matchups for little to no cost. And what you get back for that is a whole bunch of really incredible packs. So I would say that in terms of giving us free stuff, marquee matchups is the closest thing we get right now to freebies each week. Sometimes there's a marquee matchup that's a little expensive. Like this previous marquee matchups, it was all super easy except for the A-League, the Australian League one. And the reason why that was a little bit more expensive is because of the formation that they picked. Didn't require any wingers, and it required 5 midfielders, 2 CDMs, 3 cams. And there are a lot of wingers in the A-League and not so many CDMs, centre mids and cams, which basically shot the price of those up. But it didn't shoot the price of them up to the point where the pack wasn't valuable. The A-League team cost you around 11,000 coins, and you got a premium gold players pack, I believe, so a 25k pack, maybe a jumbo premium gold pack, either a 15k pack or a 25k pack for completing it, and it cost you around 10,000 coins if you had none of the players. If you had any of the players, it cost you less and less and less. And I think in that sense, EA, I think they're starting to get the message. I really do think they're starting to understand the picture that, you know, we are now putting in a lot of time. Look at my win record there, guys. 24 wins, 6 games remaining. I had to win 5 of my last 6 to get elite after being 20-5, needing 9 of my last 15, which means I won 4 from 9. I won 4 out of 9 games. That's hideous. That's hideous. It's so bad. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you. But the EA giving us more stuff would be nice. But I also think that they get it now, and they're looking at measures to incorporate that into their game, which is great. Owen Lee says, "Hey Nep, do you think it would be cool for EA to add Easter eggs into FIFA or other hidden paths that lead to a reward? Love from USA." I don't know about Easter eggs per se. I just wish they would allow customization. I wish that I would be able to choose the boots that are on my players, like with pro clubs, the way you can choose things. If I want Eden Hazard to wear a long sleeve shirt, let let him wear a long sleeve shirt. If I want him to wear gloves or whatever, let that happen. You know, more customization, the better. You know, there are a lot of new cards in the game this year. The Movember cards, the Team of the Group Stage cards, the Red Informs, the One to Watch cards, the new Man of the Match, Man of the Match, and variations of the Cup Man of the Match, the Euro Man of the Matches, the 2 different types of SBC cards that we've seen. There are just an absolute abundance of different cards. However, I still feel like it would be cool to be able to customize the cards. You know, or get badges for the cards. And what I mean by that is, like, right there you see Ibra on the screen, right? It just has nothing on there. It just is him standing there holding his thing, holding his Player of the Month trophy, and nothing on there. How cool would it be to just get a badge on each card every time you hit a milestone? They do it in League of Legends again, like when you like match up against people in League of Legends, it shows you your 5 team and their 5 team, and on each individual player, like I guess card that you see right there, they have like badges to denote what level they are with that player, that champion that they're using. They have a badge to denote if they get like thumbed up after every game because they're a good player and positive impact on the team and they're helpful. If they get enough like positive likes, they'll get a badge to say that they're a helpful player. In FIFA, you can have things very, very similar. I would love to see something like, you know, I have Eden Hazard has like nearly 400 goals for me or whatever. For 500 goals, how cool would it be if you got like a diamond badge that just pops on the card? It wouldn't mean anything. It would be purely cosmetic, but it would be good to see. I don't think that that's priority number 1 for EA though, unfortunately. Starbirth Play says, "Don't you think that because you dab on people, you actually make them try harder?" People always comment on the dab, right? I don't even do it on purpose anymore. I did do it on purpose because it was funny how it triggered the comment section and the viewers on stream and stuff. But now it is literally just instinct reaction. I don't even mean to do it. When I score a goal, my natural instinct is just to boom, boom, boom. And I don't even mean to do it. And so many times I'm like, damn it, I should have done another celebration. Or I just shouldn't have done a celebration. Like, you'll see me, even in that game where I was 6-1 down, I dabbed on him when I scored. It's because it's just instinct at this point. I need to force myself to start doing a different celebration for sure. Do I think it makes people try harder? Possibly. But I think people see my team anyway, and like now it gets to a scenario where when people see my team, because of how much time I put into this game and how lucky we've been with like rewards and FUT champs and stuff, I think people assume that I've spent money on this team. So I think people generally want to beat me because they're like, oh, this guy spending money, got a super team, let's stick it to him. So I think people just see what I've got and try super hard anyway. But I don't mind necessarily. You know, I want to play the best players to learn what's wrong in my game and what they do that's effective, so that I can incorporate their good stuff into my game, and so that I can get rid of the bad stuff in my game. I don't want to just like. It would be great to go 40-40. And it would be good for the ego and good for the series if I came up against 40 absolutely horrendous players in one weekend league and went 40-0. For me, for bragging rights, it would be amazing. But in terms of actually bettering myself as a player and actually becoming a better FIFA player, playing against poor opponents doesn't do anything for me. You know, I do play in the weekend, the daily knockouts sometimes, and yeah, the quality of opponent in that tournament isn't the best. One of the main reasons why I play in there is sometimes just to play FIFA whilst being able to relax and talk to a stream, because it's just a lot less stressful, a lot less pressure, and it allows me to have good conversation in the stream whilst playing FIFA. But sometimes I also go in there to test out new teams, test out new players, new formations, new custom tactics and stuff. and it's just a far more comfortable environment to test those out in before taking them into divisions. But yeah, I don't know. I think if it does make people try harder, great, because I want to advance, I want to learn. Morgan Todd says, Nep, is it worth the 110k for a keeper like De Gea when you could just get Butland for 3k and they both let in similar types of goals? I really do understand your logic, and I agree. Keepers in general, if somebody understands how to shoot properly, the keeper is largely irrelevant. And so in that mindset, I would say if... this is another top 100 player, by the way, Super Noodles, the last guy. I think we lost to him as well in a narrow, really tough game. And this again, this kind of game shows me that I'm so close to being able to be in and compete with the top 100 players. Or maybe I'm there because like I narrowly lost this game. But then there are games where I just get demolished by some scrub lord who just puts away every chance he has, and I miss every chance I have because I let the emotions get the better of me, that says to me that I'm actually miles away. It's crazy how when I come up against someone who's genuinely really good at FIFA, it makes me step my own game up, which is nuts. But I believe Super Noodles is a viewer of the videos. So if you are, dude, good game. It was a really tough game, a really fun game. And again, my defensive frailties let me down in this game 100%. But yeah, I would say in terms of spending 110k on De Gea, if you've got the spare coins and you don't need to upgrade really anywhere else in the team, I would say get him. If you don't have the spare coins and you could do a lot of a better job by upgrading somewhere else in your team, I would say upgrade elsewhere first and then come back to the goalkeeper last, which is exactly what we did in this team. You know, we upgraded the team a lot, and then we came back to the goalkeeper. Hayden Daly says, if fullbacks don't make much of a difference, why don't you use regular cards there and use the money somewhere else? For example, Sergio Ramos. My aim was to, I was close to getting Sergio Ramos. I had about 550k in the bank. And I was thinking to myself, you know, next weekend league, another 70 to 100,000 coins from the weekend league, plus the ultimate team of the week pack would be good, and a 100k pack would be even closer to getting Sergio Ramos. And then by this next weekend league, we'd be able to get him. But because they cancelled weekend league that weekend, I decided to invest those coins into Dani Alves and Barzagli and try using two teams. And ultimately, that was a huge mistake. So because I was impatient, I've ended up screwing myself to the point where we're still probably 2 weekend league rewards away from Sergio Ramos. I will be keeping Marcelo and Modric, but I will be getting rid of Barzagli and Dani Alves and anything else that's in my team that's, you know, relatively priced and sellable. So that when we get our weekend league rewards for this coming weekend, I'll assess how close I am to being able to get Sergio Ramos. But also, monthly rewards will probably be coming, if not this Wednesday, next Wednesday. And there is a red Sergio Ramos in there, the 90 rated one, maybe even the 91 rated one as well. So if I could get one of those instead for free, it would be great. It would be really great to be able to pick up one of those cards for free and then not have to worry about spending 1 million coins on the team of the year Ramos, and instead investing those coins elsewhere. Last but not least, Jack Bartlett says, Hi Nep, I average gold 2 in weekend. I play on 50-inch TV usually. I played 8 games of a weekend on a 35-inch TV and went 8-0. But I play on a 27-inch, played 27 on the 50-inch TV and went 11-16. I feel the difference between the gameplay and I felt it very delayed. Any thoughts? Interestingly enough, I actually spoke about this on stream yesterday. I play on, I believe it's a 32-inch. Bateson, I believe, plays on a 24-inch, and so do a lot of the pros. And they swear by the fact that the 24-inch is better for the simple reason that, there's actually 2 things. Number one, on a smaller TV, the response time is quicker. That's factual. You simply cannot deny that. When you're talking about tenths of seconds, it can genuinely be the difference between you getting that tackle in or not getting that tackle in, or getting that shot away and not getting that shot away, or getting that skill move off and not getting that skill move off. So, yeah, I would say huge TVs are horrendous to play FIFA on. The smaller the TV, the better. But on top of that, when you play with a smaller TV, your peripheral vision covers the whole TV. So, especially when you play with a camera angle like mine, you can see everything at once instead of having to lean your head, turn your head, look up here, look down there. Everything's all the same all at once. So, it's more efficient for a smaller TV. I definitely will get a 24-inch in the next couple of weeks and have a full weekend league on a 24-inch and see what kind of difference it makes. If it makes a huge difference, I'll stick with it. If for me it doesn't seem to make a difference, I'll stay with the 32-inch or maybe 27-inch that I've got. And we'll go from there. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.